Robert Cannon has a wonderful story from being a drug dealer to an investor. You went to prison. Let's talk about everything, bro. I'm sure everyone out there wants to know your story.
Before I went to federal prison at 22, I was able to accumulate 5 different businesses. I had a car wash, I had a jersey shop, barber shop, I had a record label, and I had a trucking company.
So you go to prison, you're 22, you accumulated 5 businesses, very successful. How long were you in prison?
I was in prison for 4 years, just a month. I'm not easily influenced no more. I move how I move because a lot of people ain't met a guy that's never getting out of prison, 8 life sentences. A lot of people ain't get shot and bounced back from the doctor telling you that you ain't gonna walk again, but I stayed in prayer. A lot of people ain't getting out of prison starting from zero, never having a job. Ain't nobody said, they go 20,000, he go 10,000. I started from zero, bro, no fluff.
A lot of people go to prison, bro, but a lot of people don't make the turnaround that you did. Where did this desire come from?
The guy that impacted me the most ever in my life. This man walked the track. He had son and daughter that only came seeing him on 5 hands. He made millions of dollars. Those millions didn't matter because he could never be a part of those millions. So that's what gave me the psychology, like, what the freak I'm doing, bro? I'm like, I can't live like this.
Welcome to another episode of Pick Up the Phone podcast. I'm your host, Josue Llanas. I help people with marketing, sales, and artificial intelligence. I am the CEO of Vancom.io. Today's guest is Robert Cannon. Robert Cannon is a really good friend of mine. Robert Cannon has a wonderful story from being a drug dealer to an investor. While he was in prison, he worked a lot and transitioned his mindset and built just an amazing mindset, always offers value. Just a great guy. He's achieved financial freedom at this point. And I think another thing that really sets you apart is you're building a legacy for your daughter, for the next generation. So really excited to have you on here today, bro.
Absolutely, man. It's a pleasure. And thank you, man, for the opportunity, man. And been an honor to see your growth ever since we met and did a deal through Simon Wynn. So it's been a journey just to see you grow. So thank you, man, for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And that'll be definitely something that we'll talk about today too. So that'll be a great story to share here.
Absolutely.
So I always like starting with, the beginning. Who is Robert Cannon? I mentioned, you went to prison. Let's talk about everything, bro. I'm sure everyone out there wants to know your story.
Absolutely, man. Well, first of all, I want to give honor and glory to God, man, for this opportunity, because without him, I'm nothing. As you said, man, I've been to prison. I've been to federal prison. When I was 22, I made the news.
You made the news?
I made the news.
No kidding.
I got an article. We made the live news, and there was a newspaper article behind my story.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mind sharing it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I hung with guys 10, 15 years older than me from California.
Right.
So growing up in the hood, I was a little advanced because, I was able to speed up the process and figure it out, watching my big brother. If it weren't for my big brother, I probably would have never been a drug dealer. They said you are the 5 people that you're around the most.
Right.
And I was around my brother, my uncles, and they was into that lifestyle. So that's what led me to that perspective. And I got in it and moved with speed into the business and kind of, went ahead of little people faster.
Right.
And in that process, man, I moved up quickly. And through that process, Josue, I end up hanging with guys from California that was a little more advanced.
Right.
And during that time, before I went to federal prison at 22, I was able to accumulate 5 different businesses.
5 different businesses?
Legitimate businesses.
What kind of businesses?
I had a car wash.
Yeah.
I had a jersey shop, barber shop.
Yeah.
I had a record label, and I had a trucking company.
And you were 22?
I went to prison at 22.
So you had all of this by the time you were 22?
22.
When did you get started with, getting into the drug dealing business?
Man, I started in high school. I was starting off at the petty level until I started being resourceful.
Right.
Being resourceful took me to places because I sold a drug.
Selling weed or something?
No, I sold PCP. PCP, I sold it in quantities, but I started off selling at the lower level until I got to like selling it wholesale, just like real estate.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, so you got the whole like the whole business dealings, understanding how, business deals at the local level, and then have been maybe like a manager, having people working for you,
Yes.
wholesaling.
Yes.
Okay, all right, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. So it formulated, man.
yeah.
And I dealt with a lot of small towns around Texas,
Okay,
Louisiana, all that, because my conspiracy was from Louisiana, Mississippi, and the whole Texas. So
gotcha.
I dealt with a lot of small towns.
Right. You were born here in Houston?
Houston, Texas, South Side, Third Ward, Yellowstone areas.
That's where you were born.
Yes.
Got it. And then
Yes.
that's when you grew up. That's where you went to high school
High
down there.
school, middle
Got it.
school, all that.
Got
Yes.
it. Started in high school, and then what happened? You started accumulating all these different resources, and then you started getting more market share.
Yes, man, it's really like the real estate. I started marketing myself, man, because I had a product that was powerful.
Right.
It came direct from Cali, so I was able to set myself apart. Everybody
Mm,
sell weed, cocaine, but I had something that was powerful and strong, so I was able to have a new niche into the marketplace,
something different.
something different.
Mm,
And PCP was a drug that you can triple your money more than cocaine, the way you break it down.
mm-hmm.
And I learned that. Shout out to the OGs from California, man. A lot of guys taught me the game, the
Mm-hmm.
cooks and stuff like that. And not to glorify it, but
Yeah.
it showed me, marketplace. It
Right.
showed me profitability because PCP is a different animal. It's not the embalming fluid you put in bodies. It's a correlation to that. You know what I'm saying? People thought, oh, that's the embalming fluid you put in people. No, PCP is something you smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to sell the cigarettes and a weed square rolled up,
Mm-hmm.
dip it, and people smoked it. I never got high on my own supply.
Right.
So that's why I was able to be successful more into that perspective.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What an incredible journey, man. And
Absolutely.
so that gives me a lot more insight now into, who you are today as a person. And, I see how you move. I see how you talk to people, and the people of value that you surround yourself around now. I mean, you've met Bob Proctor, you've
Absolutely.
met
Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone, you've met Tillman Fertitta,
Yes.
Shaq. I mean, I've seen you meet a lot of very, very successful people, so to be able to see where you came from
Right.
in the very humble beginnings, and really, I think your environment kind of really dictated who you were at a young age, because you didn't have any more of an outlet, right? You don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
And just like I'm from South Texas, right, where like the vast majority of people down there are minorities and are impoverished. It's kind of like the same thing, right?
Absolutely.
But it takes you on a journey that now shows me a lot more of the character of who you had to create to who you are today.
Absolutely.
Right.
That was our mindset, man.
Right.
Especially coming from a negative environment of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
money can't change your mind. You have to change within.
Mm.
But that transition, Josue, you got to think about it. I read a ton of books in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who I met in prison? I met one of the guys that the Enron. You heard of Enron scandal?
Yeah.
Ben Gleason. You can look him up on Google. He was
Uh-huh.
the treasurer of Enron. That's who taught me the stock market.
That's what I just thought about.
That's who. And look, I was locked up with Governor Edwards. You can look him up.
Yeah.
I was locked up with a governor who designed the federal camp in Louisiana. I was locked up in Oakdale, Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
And the governor of Louisiana was locked up for some white collar stuff.
Right.
And I met instrumental people that was in a federal prison. So I called federal prison a mastermind
Mm.
because you are part of a lot of guys with ingenuity ideas. They just got caught.
Right.
I was locked up with lawyers and mortgage brokers. That's where development come from.
Right.
So I became the bookman in prison because I had over 70, 80 books in my room because I still had a little money when I got locked up.
Yeah.
So my mom used to send me books. All I wanted books.
Right.
I started reading the drug dealer books, all the negative books first until I transitioned into want to learn self-development. That was the
Right.
powerful thing. So my transition.
Where did this desire come from, Robert? Because I feel like, a lot of people go to prison, bro, but a lot of people don't make the turnaround that you did. So where did this desire come from?
Man, I saw people I saw a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I saw grown men crying on the phone
Mm-hmm.
behind the girls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was young. I didn't want to be old and see what they was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it snapped.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, I can't be in here playing basketball and this and this. I gotta self-develop myself.
Yeah.
And I learned that by writing a lot of people and seeking to understand myself.
Right.
So that transition came in my mind, honestly, man, when I was in the cell. I was like, man, either I can come back out here and beat my chest
Mm-hmm.
and go back through what I went through,
Mm-hmm.
but you cannot beat the feds. So
Yeah.
it was like a privilege and an honor because I said I had never had this time in my life
Mm-hmm.
to seek this information.
Right.
And that's when that started manifesting. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm talking about, man, I used to rent out books to people. Like, you
Right.
used to have to give me a book of stamps and bring my book back. And
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of guys that's out right now that follow me on social media that's incarcerated with me know how I was.
Right.
And they saw it, and now they saw the transition before I came out.
Wow.
And that's what, I stuck to this day. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the Bible. Once you transform your mind and start reading, God will put these things in you and you'll start becoming a part of this book. Now I'm walking the track reading a book. Now my mind is like into this book world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang, I could do this. And I didn't know that because I was so busy trying to impress with the jury, with the cause, with the lifestyle.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You left all that now behind. Look at you with a nice, beautiful "We Buy Houses Cash" shirt.
Man, this shirt has made me, man, if not millions.
Yeah.
It done got me resources that I never would have got in my life. You can stand on side of me with your Gucci, Louis Vuitton,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna be more influential in the process. I'm gonna attract more people in the process because you ran somebody else's brand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You run your own brand right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I learned that Josue by running a franchise. I ran We Buy Ugly Houses for one of my mentors.
Yeah. Yeah. You sure did.
Yeah, I ran that for 4 years, and I saw how branding was the most powerful thing in that marketing because the way they are, it
Mm-hmm.
taught me that once you brand yourself, you stigmatize yourself.
Yeah.
So this been part of my repertoire ever since I left that company.
Yeah.
Well, I got fired, by the way. Thanks. If I never got fired, I'd probably still be under my mentor, Ryan D.G. Bunny. Shout out to him, by the way.
Yeah. I love that, and we'll get to that here in a sec. But I want to know. Let's back up real quick. So you go to prison. You're
Mhm.
22. You accumulated 5 businesses. You're
Uh-huh.
very successful. Doing that business. How long were you in prison?
I was in prison for 4 years and 4 years and some months.
4 years and some months. So you're 26, 27, maybe about the time you're coming out.
I came out, but peep this.
Hmm.
I went back to prison 3 times for violations.
For violations. What kind of violations?
Violations meaning when I got out of prison, I was in a halfway house.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Papa Do's and had a drink with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Came back to the halfway house in Houston on Commerce,
Uh-huh.
federal halfway house.
Yeah.
Why they breathalyzing us, bro?
Oh man.
I was out for 3 months, man. Out of all the days they breathalyzing us, man, I had a drink that day.
Oh damn.
And
What happened?
I took the drug program in prison
Mhm.
that took off 10 months off my sentence. You can
Mhm.
take a drug program and it's up to 10 months to a year off your sentence.
Right.
Man, why I got violated,
Damn.
man.
The day of, bro.
Man,
Come on,
and
man.
they sent me back for 3 months.
Yeah.
I got out. They came back and got me again because I signed the fine line in prison
Uh-huh.
about the drug program.
Uh-huh.
So I went back.
What was the second violation for?
The second violation was for that I caught a case with one of my cousins. When I got out, I got back in the drug game,
Mm-hmm.
and I caught a case with one of my cousins. Cocaine. Even though I had all the book knowledge, but
Right.
my journey started to, we'll go more into that. But
Right.
I violated from that perspective, and
And then what was the third violation?
the third violation was that I stopped reporting when I got with Homevestors.
Yeah.
After my journey, I stopped reporting for about 7 months
You
because
stopped reporting.
I started reporting to my federal probation officer because they knew that I was a part of this national franchise.
Right.
And I'm paying my fees, but Homevestors kept me all around Texas, Louisiana. Like at that time, it was 3 top people: Ron DiGiovanni, Eddie Gant, and Blake Yarbrough.
Mm-hmm.
We dominated marketing.
Yeah.
I stayed on the move.
Right.
And I honestly forgot. Honestly. And I got violated, even with Ron DiGiovanni and some representatives from Home Vestors came to speak on my behalf at the court.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got violated for 3 months, but it turned out to be 5 months, which was the best thing that happened to me.
What's that?
Because I got fired in the process, which is a story from Home Vestors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me turn into my other self, because I got out and was self-made ever since then. You know what I'm saying? I worked for the white man at the time.
Right.
I ain't gonna say I worked for him. I brought him my salesmanship.
Yeah.
I had my salesmanship before him, but he added, because he invested in me in sales classes, negotiation classes. So it kind of created more of me.
Right.
To dominate his company. I ran his company like mine.
Yeah.
Like it was mine.
Right. So the second time you violated it, you went in there, you went back to prison for 3 months, you came out, and then that's when you started working with Ryan.
No, I got violated for the drink, got out, and they came back and got me again.
For the cocaine?
No, they came and got me again because in the drug program, you cannot be access to no liquor, nothing, no type of drugs.
Got it.
So I got violated 4 times. I went 3 months, 4 months. Then I got the cocaine case. I didn't catch the case. It wasn't on me, but just being in the facility with it, I got violated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Then my 4th violation was when I started working with Home Vestors.
So you got out the 3rd time, and then how did you meet Ryan? How did that, like, okay, you're in and out of prison, you're 22, you're 20, you're like now what, around 27, 28?
28, 29, just because I got out 26, going back 27, 28.
Yeah. So how did you meet Ryan?
Man, I met Ryan once I got out of federal prison in 2011. This you can't make this up. I got out in 2011 and went through the worst temporary defeat. I said I would never sell drugs again in my life, because when I went to prison, I met a guy with 8 life sentences on one of those violations that became in Beaumont federal prison, had the most time in the prison. He had 8 life sentences in 100 years. He was very known. He called shots. I was only there for 9 months. That's the guy that impacted me the most ever in my life. This man walked the track. He had a son and daughter that only came seeing him on 5 hands. He made millions of dollars, but those millions didn't matter because he could never be a part of those millions. So walking that track and I was in a maximum federal prison. I did time at the low in the camp, but when I went back on violation, I went to the maximum prison. So that's what gave me the psychology, like, what the freak I'm doing, bro?
Yeah.
I'm finna be forced to be a punk in jail? Because some guys are forced to be a punk in jail. Because you got life. What you gonna do? Beat your meat all the time? Nah, bro, you gotta, this their reality is no shame to them. I saw this. I'm like, I can't live like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that guy
had that like epiphany there, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Right. And I don't think I speak a lot starting from zero. When I got out in 2011, I ain't closed my first real estate deal at 2013. Even though when I got out, I had to pivot. My ex-wife, I was married at the time. I was married for 5 years. My ex-wife was paying for my haircuts. My mom was letting me use her car. I was shout out to Lifestyles. I got started through Lifestyles, going to a lot of their meetings. That's how I got my Chinese private lender. I met some quality people.
Okay, so you got started with Lifestyles.
I got started with Lifestyle, going to the meeting, showing up.
Yeah.
And I was uncomfortable because I had streetwear clothes. I wasn't sophisticated, and you know what I'm saying? But I read these books. Now these books start coming back into fruition.
Right.
Think and Grow Rich, all these great books that I read.
Right.
The E-Myth.
Right.
What's one of my great books? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
Stephen Covey.
Man, so you would show up, Robert, and you're right here, you're chilling and you're hanging out with like your street clothes, right?
Yeah.
How are people looking at you, bro? Are they judging you? What's going on?
Me, man.
Of course.
I got Air Force Ones on.
Right.
I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Baggy clothes.
Right.
So I
How did you overcome that, bro?
Man, because I didn't want to go back to what I went through.
Yeah.
Back in my mind, I remember the guy with the 8 life sentences.
Right.
So when I got out in 2011 in March.
Right.
I started hanging at Barnes and Nobles every day because you can go there and read the books for free. Right there in River Oaks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to not go to the hood because I knew that I was going to become a part of the hood.
So you started changing your environment, huh?
I had to.
Yeah.
Yes.
It all starts with your environment.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Because a robber going to hang with a robber. You see somebody get, man, how you get that money? Oh, this is what I did.
Right.
So I had to avoid it at all costs.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Absolutely.
So then lifestyles, and then I'm guessing that at one of these maybe meetings you met Ryan there.
I met Ryan through Lifestyles. Well, when I was going through Lifestyles, I was building up my buyers list. My first legit deal in my life was in 2013 of October, where I closed a wholesale deal that made $4,000, and the guy who brought me the deal made $4,000.
So let's talk about this first deal. 2013. How old are you now at this point?
Man, I'm 42.
42. No, at 2013.
Oh, 2013, and I was 30-something. That's all I can remember. Hold up. 2013, man, I can't put the numbers together, but I was where I was. Oh, no, I'm not 30-something. I was 20-something because I was, I got out 2011, 2013. I can't remember the date of how old I was, but I remember the day I closed that deal was October 2013. I got a copy of that check, actually. I took a picture.
So let's talk about this deal. How did it go? How did you get started with your first real estate deal?
Man, I got started because I was getting deals on the contract, but over leverage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was going on Lifestyles. I was YouTube University, this and this and this.
You got the contracts. You started looking for the people.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So what happened?
Man, my first deal was I brought a buyer. Okay. I built up my buyers list at Lifestyles Unlimited.
Okay.
And I brought a buyer to somebody's deal. Man, I made $4,000. Josue, don't you know I kept that check for a week and borrowed $500 from my mom.
Why?
Because I wanted to keep the check for the law of attraction. My first legit check in my life.
In your life?
In my life.
Yeah.
Bro, I never had a job in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
I was a straight drug dealer, man.
You never had a check in your name up until that point?
Never had a check in my name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to earn from knowledge. That's powerful when you can earn something from putting together something. And I kept that check, man. And that was the start of something.
Right.
Since then, I got an impeccable resume of every deal I've done wholesale. You know what I'm saying? Of every deal since I've been in business is documented and took a picture of. You know what I'm saying? Like every deal.
Right.
From 6-figure deals to, you know what I'm saying? From that 4,000 turned into a different perspective.
Absolutely. I love it. So you're in Lifestyles, you meet a guy, he has a real estate deal, maybe like an off-market direct contract to seller.
Yes.
And then because of your network in Lifestyles, you have a buyer.
Yes.
So then you guys come do a JV. You do the JV 50-50.
Right.
He makes $4K, you make $4K. That's your first deal.
First deal.
I love that, dude.
First deal. Yeah. I still remember my first 3 deals. 4,000, 2,000, then 10,000.
Were all first 3 JV deals?
Nope.
No?
When I made that 4,000, I went and bought me some bandit signs.
Okay.
Put out bandit signs. I reinvested into the business.
Right.
And I made that deal. The second deal came from a bandit sign.
Okay.
The third deal came from a bandit sign.
There you go.
And I made 10,000 out of my neighborhood.
On your neighborhood.
Out of my neighborhood.
And now the second and third deal, now you're direct to seller?
Yes.
Okay. And you already had the buyer's list, so boom.
Yes.
Get under contract, sell it to the buyer, get some money.
Absolutely. But if it wasn't for me going to Lifestyles, like vetting people, I had a sheet with, are you an apartment buyer, land buyer? All right, what's your percentage? What type of areas you in?
Right.
Everybody knew me from that. In my mind, I said, man, everybody gonna know who I am. Even if you gonna hate me or love me, at least now you know me.
Right.
I love that. Saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was my mindset.
Because judgment aside, I mean, at the end of the day, hey, people are looking for deals. So
yes,
it don't matter. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. Doesn't matter what you look like. At the end of the day, if you bring value to people, people are going to appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And you can get paid for it. Absolutely. So now you're at the point, you've done 3 deals. What happens next when you meet Ryan? Because I know that you had a lot of success working with We Buy Ugly Houses with franchise, right?
Yes, home investors. Yes,
home investors. I feel like you honed in a lot of your marketing skills that you have today. You honed in a lot of your sales skills that you have today.
Yes.
You practice a lot of these things. So when did the transition happen?
Man, the transition happened because Ryan saw me. I had a impeccable way I process people.
Mm-hmm.
If I called you with a deal, I know I process people like, hey, great. All right, Josue, I got this deal, but hey, are you gonna be using cash? Well, yes. Okay, great. If you're using cash, sir, can you send me a copy of your proof of funds, or send me a picture of your bank account, and write out the account numbers if you so I could put this in the folder, right? That
Yeah.
was I had some such as that.
Yeah.
This the first guy that sent it to me in 2 minutes. He sent me his proof of funds of 2 million from Jet Lending.
For 2 million from Jet
For
Lending.
2 million, bro. Yeah. He sent it in 2 minutes. I never saw nobody do that the way I used to. I had a mentor from Florida that I used to be online, and he taught us how to process people to see who got the money.
Mm-hmm.
And that dude sent it in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Blow me away.
Yeah.
And at that time, when I used to get deals on the contract, I used to give it to Jet Linden. It was a guy named Eric used to email blasts out. So my name was seen all over Jet Linden's blasts to all the investors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I met Ron DiGiovanni.
Mm.
And ever since then, he was processing me to eventually become the face of his Home Investors franchise.
Wow. And
Yes.
So how did that conversation happen? Let's talk, because a lot of people that's watching this right now, Robert, maybe are in similar positions, right? Mm-hmm. They're out there, they're wanting to get started in real estate, and they want to see, how do I make the transition? How do I go work for today's Ryan DiGiovanni?
Right.
How do I bring someone like that value? Right. What did you have to do so that Ryan take you under his wing?
Man, that's a great question. A lot of people don't know how to be a student.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put ego to the side.
Right.
Ego messes us out of a lot of deals, a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
And I put ego to the side. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was able to see something better, because now, even though I got this mindset, I used to be a drug dealer, but I said in my mind, man, this white boy could take me to places that, the hood can't even take me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to be patient. Mm-hmm. You got to put ego to the side, and you got to be willing to listen. Like, everybody don't want to listen. Like I had to self-focus myself so that I can bring value, because anybody can try to say, oh, how I can bring value, mm-hmm. but I had to go beyond. You got to go the extra mile to get stuff done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If I'm in a shower, I'm answering phones. If I'm, in the middle of using the restroom, I'm answering the phone. If I'm at church, I'm walking out, raising my hand, answering the phone when leads calling.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to go beyond the average.
Got it. So you guys started with Ryan. How long did you work with Ryan?
Man, I worked with Ryan for almost like 4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
And during that time, you started working with him. How many deals do you think you probably did with him?
Man, we did hundreds of deals. Ryan made millions of dollars in the process.
Yeah.
Ryan made deals in the middle of the process. We did over 200 deals. I know for sure, because we was the number one franchise at the time. Mm-hmm. Around that time, we was the number one franchise in sales. We won 2015 or something like that, the most sales.
Yeah.
And I was the buyer.
You were the buyer.
I was the buyer of all his deals.
When you say you were a buyer, you're the one that was actually locking up the contracts.
Negotiations.
So he was doing all of the marketing. He had the marketing set up. What kind of marketing was he doing back then?
Well, back then, Home Investors had the billboards. Mm-hmm. Home Investors had the TV commercials. Mm-hmm. So Home Investors did a circulation of lead flows from the person who was putting in the most. See, they did a psychology process. Mm-hmm. They showed all the franchisees who was spending the most on marketing. Mm-hmm. We was between 1 and 3 mm-hmm. for at least 2 years in marketing.
Yeah.
That's how I know how to get deals. If you ain't spending no money in marketing, you ain't getting no deals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You just sitting on the side waiting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was my mindset, and that's what I do to this day. That's why I emulated everything. Really, I took a lot from Home Investor. That's why I wear different colors of marketing. That's why I got on some of the land I own around Houston. I got my personal billboards there.
Yeah.
You can't come tell me to take my billboard off my land.
Right.
Because, you know what I'm saying? And I got my main phone numbers on them.
What kind of other marketing were you guys doing? What's Home Investors doing at the time? Was it just only billboards? Was it any online presence or anything like that?
Man,
Google ads?
they was doing they was spending millions of dollars on, of course, the billboards is dominating around the city of every freeway.
Right.
They was doing direct mail.
Mm-hmm.
They was doing commercials.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Facebook, all the other Google ads that they was doing. So they was the face to ensure leads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So that's how we was able to dominate. Because Ryan, and that's when I found out about business credit way back then, because I saw Ryan DiGiovanni build 2 houses in the Heights, and build 2 houses, $500,000 houses out business credit. And he was using business credit to market back then, when everybody think this the new wave. He been doing that way back then.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. So you close a bunch of deals with Ryan, everything goes well, and then you said he fired you.
He fired me in jail.
He fired you while you were in jail?
Because I was getting lowballed on pay. But I'm not knocking him. I'm not talking bad on him.
Yeah.
Even though my net worth's supposed to have been high, bro.
Yeah.
I made this man millions. Yeah. Got tons of houses. You can come bring Ryan. I can put Ryan on spot.
Yeah.
Ryan can tell you.
Right.
However, he looked at he spent a lot of money in marketing, so my pay was minimized.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to survive, even making all these moves for him.
Right.
So he threw away a lead that I went back and got 6 months after digging in the trash, still following up because he couldn't buy cash.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I did a subject to, but I did it with 2 other people who found the buyer.
Mm.
When I went to jail, my mom gave him my phone because I had a lead phone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of sellers that I used to be in follow-up process used to call me directly.
Mm-hmm.
And that lead phone, the people called while I was in jail, he answered, and the people I subject to the house stopped paying. Mm-hmm. And they went crazy, Robert. And he didn't tell them I was in jail, but he found out, looked up the lead. Oh, that was one of my leads. But bro, you threw away that lead because we used to have weekly meetings on what we throwing away because they didn't want to buy. All he knew was about how to buy cash.
Right.
I had 2 white ladies on my team. Shout out to Miss Tina. And one of the ladies is Nathan's private lender to this day. Mm. They sisters.
Nathan? What Nathan?
Nathan Haley.
Nathan Haley, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And they helped me find a buyer, and I subject to. So we split it 12,000, 3,600, no, 9,000. Mm-hmm. And he found out about the lead when I went to jail. Mm-hmm. So he felt like I double crossed him, but I didn't. Mm-hmm. And that was and I started feeling his energy in jail. Like he stopped answering because I was closing deals from jail. He called.
You were closing deals from jail?
Man, I was closing deals. I make everybody in the tank be quiet, and he'll follow up on my phone, and I say I was out of town.
Yeah.
And he was calling them on 3-way. Ryan can verify this. Ryan DiGiovanni can verify this.
Yeah, no, I believe you. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just standing on business from saying that he was calling people from my phone and
had it on 3-way with the person.
yes, with the person, bro.
Yeah.
And he fired me in jail, which he tried to get my shirts and my badge from Home Investors, but I did not give it to him because he had my iPad. Uh-huh. I said, man, you can keep that stuff because I had in my mind, I'm going to come back and use these shirts and wear these shirts everywhere I go and attract marketing.
Yeah. Damn. That's insane.
But we cool to this day, man, and it was part of the plan.
Right.
Sometimes things be a part of the plan, and I made up for that. Yeah. And I'll tell you later on how I made up for that, for how he felt. He felt like I didn't value integrity.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he understood because I was hurting, bro. You making millions and, doing 20, but he was doing 15 flips at one time.
Wow.
Ryan owned over 200 rentals. Not to put his business out there, but he's a powerful entity, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully you can, I know we've talked in the past about Ryan, but hopefully you can maybe do a connection so we can have him on the podcast too. I'd love to have him on here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be
That's the only
amazing.
guy called Trump, man. So
Yeah.
he earned that title. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a good guy. So, fast forward, you get fired. What happens next, bro? You come out of jail. Now you're on your own.
I'm on my own.
What do you do now?
Man, I met up with a Chinese lady who I do business with to this day.
Mm-hmm.
She actually came and saw me in jail
Mm-hmm.
when I got violated.
Mm-hmm.
When I got violated with home investors,
Mm-hmm.
this lady came and saw me in jail, and it blew my mind
Mm-hmm.
and made me shed tears because she knew where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the lady who I was able to give my goals to keep me accountable when I got out,
Right.
starting from zero.
Right.
So I started from zero because I gave her my goals and showed it to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like for her to do a podcast too, because she come from China, you know, on massive millions of real estate, commercial properties, and we did a deal with bars through her. She buy apartments for me, and we resell them and stuff like that. We buy land together, stuff like that. We got a Series LLC where we do a lot of stuff. But this lady was the lady who believed in me and saw me start from zero.
Right.
And we used to meetings every week and stuff. And that's how I started putting together my action plan.
Right.
So that I could bring her value, because I started wholesaling her a bunch of deals until she became my private lender.
Yeah.
And that's the lady I met from Lifestyles Unlimited. And it took like 17 months to captivate that relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think there's something here to be said about that, bro, because I feel like a lot of people want to get to the level at which you're at, right? The level at which, people are successful.
Mm-hmm.
But they forget how much energy and effort is required to cultivate a relationship. I mean, you just said 17 months, but this lady saw you from the ground up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was able to see every single action that you took for 17 months straight.
Yes.
And then after all was said and done, she saw the entire process and she said, this guy is someone that is worth me investing my time and energy in.
Right.
Right. And so I think there's something to be said there, bro, about for anyone that's watching this, that you have to cultivate these relationships. But when you do, when you find them and when you cultivate them,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the amount of impact that they could have on your life could be tremendous.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a beautiful example of that, Robert. I love that story because it shows your commitment to yourself,
Right.
primarily, and then your commitment to others to bring people value, see what you have to offer. And then you brought her a bunch of value, you brought her a bunch of wholesale deals, you did deals like you said with Boris, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the main reasons for your success right now.
Absolutely.
So that's a great story, man.
I appreciate that, man. All glory to God, man. But I'm going to just share this. I read in Think and Grow Rich. Everybody thought that was the book of the year, but it was The Laws of Success,
Mm-hmm.
which is 500 pages.
Mm-hmm.
It goes in details more than Think and Grow Rich.
The Laws of Success.
The Laws of Success, but by Napoleon Hill.
Mm.
Think and Grow Rich is just, that's that book that everybody just speak on, but everybody don't got time to read the 500-page book. I read it in prison 3 times.
3 times.
3 times, 500 plus pages. The
Yeah.
Laws of Success, Think and Grow Rich is like 200 some pages. Laws of Success is 500 some pages. It expands more into the Think and Grow Rich. It blows the Think and Grow Rich out the water, bro.
Really?
And it stuck with me. Persistence, self-confidence, and mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
Those the things, because I said, if I want to separate myself, I can't, because I can meet you and you can meet many successful people, but you got to captivate those over years. You got to send texts. You got to send this. You got to engage.
Right.
To show that you're.
What were the last things that stuck with you? Persistence,
self-confidence, and the mastermind.
Self-confidence and mastermind.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the art of saving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of other laws that come with that. But that book really gave me the blueprint to. That's why I call myself a salesman. I don't wear no hat. I'm not a flipper. I'm not a wholesaler. I'm not a buying hoe. I'm a master salesman, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm selling and still being in position of power to create these opportunities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
definitely see that, bro. Yeah, I definitely see you as a master salesman. I think you're great at everything that you do. So,
Appreciate that.
so let's talk after you get with this Chinese lady. What's her
Hmm.
name?
Her name is Sun.
Miss Sun. Okay, so Miss Sun, you're working with her. What happens, bro? How did you scale? How did you get started in scaling your business?
Man, because I started, doing a lot of ton of wholesale deals.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You start saving all this
I
cash.
started saving cash, and it's a white man changed my paradigm. R.I.P. to the White Levin House.
Hmm.
Every relationship, like every story I got was by me being persistent and staying a part of this person. There was a white man that owned over 300 houses in my community,
Hmm.
and I stayed in touch with him over time for about a year. I used to call him early in the mornings. This is the guy that really helped me level up because I started wholesaling a bunch of his land, two at a time. Then this when I mastered the owner finance game because he used to do contract for deed.
Hmm.
He started selling me a lot of his houses, and I didn't know he was dying. This guy started selling me a lot of houses at 25,000, and a lot of Hispanic people stayed in those houses who was in default. He never kicked nobody out. When I bought him, it broke that contract of deed, and I gave everybody the opportunity to move out or give me 10,000 down.
Hmm.
And man, all those houses that I bought from him at that time, because I used all the wholesale money to come back and buy some of the houses that
Hmm.
he was selling me. All of them was 25,000. I got the HUDs and everything to show those things, but those houses, a lot of those people was paid off a lot of those houses now at this time. So as I knew that owner, and I never had to fix those houses up. And I said, damn, this is what I want to do. I want to
Right.
buy a house that I never have to go be a plumber. I have to never go fix up nothing. I said, oh, this sweet, but I got to have my money intact in
Right.
order to live this process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't got to do nothing. A storm come, as long as I'm on the insurance. And around that time, I wasn't as sophisticated as I am now, getting the RMLOs and the third party. But I was going through the title company, setting up those processes.
Mm.
So that's when I found out the art of owner finance, worked more than anything in my favor.
Right. Right. And his name was, what was his name?
The White Levin House.
The White Levin House.
This guy had the biggest mansion on McGregor, on North McGregor over there in the south side.
The biggest what?
Mansion.
The biggest mansion
He
over
had
there.
2 mansions on 7 acres.
Wow.
He was in the he was in the he's on the made the news and stuff like that. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? His family was wealthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So he
White man.
taught you the game.
Taught me the game
Owner finance
by
game.
process though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't just say, huh. And I shared through my social media that I've been to his three-story mansion in
Mhm.
Clear Lake. He had
Yeah.
a boat in the back, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when the first guy that ever showed me like 10 million, 8 million from his bank accounts. Like, not impressing, he just showing me that this was possible.
Right. Right.
And that stuck
Right.
with me. And my whole life has been about marketing and documenting.
Right.
Everything I talk about I can show from documentation from my life, from every deals I've done, from wholesale deals, to the highest wholesale deal I've done, not, how you could flip a house and you got to pay the lender back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's different when able to master and do 6-figure deals and it all come to you in your name.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a different feeling.
Different feeling, bro.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, so you're scaling, and from everything that you keep telling me, Robert, like it just seems like you had mentors at every point of your life, right?
Yes.
I think this is a huge part of your story, right? From a young age, you had, your brother and your uncles teaching you the drug game, your people in Cali.
Yes.
You get out of, in prison, you get the governor, you're talking to a guy from Enron.
Yes.
All your life has been filled with mentors, and I think you're extremely blessed to have all that. I think that one of the main reasons why you had so many mentors is because something that you said earlier. You said you were willing to be the student.
Absolutely.
You were willing to put the ego aside. A lot of people don't know how to do that.
Absolutely.
I think that's maybe something that may set a lot of people back. I'm sure anyone that's listening to this podcast right now has the ability to be a student, but through that journey, you went with Ryan, with his son,
Right.
Mr. Dwight, and so it's been an accumulation of other people's experiences that have led you to where you're at today, man, which is, I think, probably one of the best ways to do life, man. You know, like
Absolutely.
you get with people, they teach you the game, and then you can accelerate your results a lot faster than if you were just trying to figure everything out on your own.
Right.
There's a great book, and it's called Think Who, Not How. Right.
Mm.
Anytime you have a problem, I always ask myself, who can help me out with this issue? Right. I'm not
Mm.
gonna try and go and figure it out. You know, I'm not gonna try and see like become a developer or something if I can just go and hire someone to do it. Right.
Right.
So I think that's probably one of the main things that have set me up. Also, in the same regard, is thinking who, not how.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I have to take that, put that down.
Absolutely. So after you go with Mr. Dwight, you start buying things, and then so what happens? Let's fast forward now till today. Um, what does your business look like? What do you do on a regular basis? You have properties. Where do you have properties at?
I got them all over the Golden Triangle area. Majority because of the price points.
Okay.
You know, I found out my vision was written in Beaumont, by the way. That's why it's not just Beaumont, just by default. But I wrote my vision that I'm manifesting right now. I wrote a massive vision, not just making money, but a lot of other things that come along with that.
Yeah.
And as I was in Beaumont Federal Prison, it led me to start doing business in Beaumont by default.
Mm.
And now Beaumont is really like I can say 90% of my deal flow. I still do a ton of stuff in Houston, but I can go to 10 houses in Beaumont, I'm at least get 8.
Mm-hmm.
I can go to 10 houses in Houston, I might get 2 or 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's guys like you out there, beast mode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Competition. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
It's a lot more fierce out here.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I got a bigger presence in Beaumont through I get more referrals from sellers than anything, man. It just stuck. Said this is gonna be my marketplace. So I'm in love with creating notes.
Okay.
I create many notes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How do you normally structure these notes?
Well, man, I got an impeccable sales team, Hispanic sales team of ladies.
Yeah.
And anytime I get a deal on a contract through my acquisition company and I'm able to know that these numbers are in the line that I can spend cash, we already start setting up a back end owner finance buyer as we get the contract today. We start looking for owner finance people. So a lot of my deals that Capital Title has set up was simultaneously. The day I close on the house, I got the buyer already that put down earnest money and buying it as is. I never had to fix up an owner finance house since I've been in this business.
Love that.
As is.
What do you normally buy the deals for? What is the typical sales price out there in Beaumont?
Well, for me, man, I get a lot of cheap stuff, man. I just did a deal with some of my cousins from Third Ward.
Yeah.
Shout out to my cousins. They believed in me. We bought a house all together for $30,000, $10,000 a piece.
30,000.
30,000, and we owner financed the house for 80,000.
That was the sales price. How much down did they bring in?
They brought 15,000.
15,000.
15, and we make all and they paying the house off fast, so they doing it in 2 years. So we get like 15 something a month. So we're all 15 something.
Yeah.
So we all 3 of us get 500 some a piece. That's just naming some. I got tons of other stuff like that, but I'm just using that I was able to incorporate that to some of my family members that believed in me.
I love that.
To see the return on $10,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's nuts. You're making all this money.
Never had to touch it as is,
Yeah.
nothing. So that's my whole motto. I look to buy houses as is with my own cash.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm able to be strategic at. That's where I'm able to be in my own zone. Most people chase doors. I chase just turning something into something that can create more money, how to multiply it.
Right.
And that's one thing I saw a lot of people in this business do.
Yeah.
We see a lot of people starting out on Facebook and all these, and they go cold because they don't know how to continue to be resourceful and multiply the money. Mm-hmm. You can make 100,000, but are you gonna take that 100,000 and go buy product and force to sacrifice to continue to make money? To multiply that 100,000 back, I put that up, now I can go out and do other stuff.
Right.
And I learned that from the White Lavin House, that's the Chinese lady, and one of my billionaire mentors, Mr. Harry Smith, that owned over 30 McDonald's franchises and over 300 pieces of land in Houston. Mm-hmm. So you got to learn how to multiply the money, and that's one of the philosophies that I'm on right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To take a money that's sitting in the bank. Just how many people got 100,000 or 25,000 sitting in the bank, but I can go buy a house in Beaumont for 18,000. Buy it for 18,000, negotiating the deal. Not saying I'm lowballing people. This is just a season.
Yeah.
And I could take that 18,000 and go sell that for 65. Just example, 65,000 owner finance.
Right.
And I got 10,000 down. So really, and 10% interest. So all I did really was brought 8,000 to the table to make $873.13 a month off that 8,000 for 10 years or 15 years. I got a bunch of those, and I use third party people to finance my notes to people, so it never come to me.
Wow.
And RMLOs, so I can have everything proper perspective.
And these deals sound pretty incredible.
Man, I can show you, bro. That's all I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all I focus on.
You spent $8,000 and you're making $870.
It was 18,000.
18,000.
But they brought 10,000 down.
I got you.
So really, I'm bringing the difference.
8,000.
You see what I'm saying?
On the day of closing. Yeah.
Yes. I'm just one of the examples. You know what I'm saying? Just part of the process.
Yeah.
But
you bought the house for 18,000?
I bought the house, got it under contract for 18,000.
Wow.
So I deal
buying them cheap, huh?
Yeah, I deal with like 4 or 5 capital titles, right? Capital titles. So a lot of my Hispanic customers, shout out to my Hispanic people, man. Y'all people make my life so easy. Y'all retire me and my mentee, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, man.
So now you have all this cash flow right now. You have all this cash flow, this passive income that's been working for you because of your active business, right? Your active business being wholesaling.
Absolutely.
You do a lot of wholesales. We did a deal together, and we'll touch base on that right
Absolutely.
now. All of these wholesale deals, you take all this money and then you go and you invest it into owner finance loans. So your market is Beaumont. You're buying in Beaumont. You buy
not just cheap, Beaumont, the whole Golden Triangle area.
Golden Triangle area.
Yeah.
What would you say that is that area? Like what cities?
Man, those cities are the Golden Triangle area is Port Arthur, Beaumont, Lumberton. I bought several houses unsight, unseen, and pieces and cities outside of Beaumont because I got them so cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I bought a house for $28,000 for a guy named Eddie. Eddie. I bought it $28,000. I turned around and he found a buyer for me for $90,000.
Wow.
90,000, bro.
Damn.
And they brought 9,000 down, 10% interest, and they wanted to pay it off fast in 5 years. So I was getting 11 or 1,200 a month or something like that.
Wow.
On that deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's impeccable of the numbers, and that's what I saw. And the white man taught me. He said, man, if you want to keep your houses, owner finance them, because you know what I'm saying, because people gonna end up falling off, and you know what I'm saying.
Does that happen often in your business? Do people fall out pretty regularly?
Honestly, I never had to foreclose on nobody.
Yeah. Hispanic people are normally really good about paying their mortgage. There's a sense of ownership there.
Absolutely.
Proud of ownership.
Yes. And you got to think about it. All my houses are as is.
Right.
So you doing me a justice, because when you buy some of my houses, you got to fix them up. So if you fix up the house, thank you, sir, if you foreclose on this joint. Because now I got a brand new house that's more than a better condition than I had it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
how much do people normally fix up the properties?
Man, everybody actually fix up their properties, because everybody, mostly all the Hispanic people I deal with, man, are from the plants. You know, I got sales ladies that work in the plants that I'm able to get a lot of quality people with money. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these people fix them up, putting their people from Mexico out here in the houses.
Yeah.
And a lot of them turn them into rental properties.
No kidding.
Yes. Wow. Yes. And I mastered the game. I sold 2 of my notes only to learn how to sell notes and how to do deals. Like if you got notes, I wanted to find out when COVID came, that's when I sold 2 notes. So now I can broker notes because I called at least about 30, 40 note buyers.
How'd you find them?
Man, when COVID came, I said I wanted to pivot and have some extra cash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just to see how to make some money out of something, and I did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that showed me like, oh, so it's like a buy and hold, It's,
Right.
no, hold on. Let me break it down. A note is like, when you create a note, it's like a wholesale
Mm-hmm.
because you get money down.
Yeah.
It's like a buy and hold because you get money every month.
Right.
And if you sell the note after 6 months when the season, it's like a flip
It's like a flip.
because you get a percentage of that. So
Yeah.
I was making money. I made money 3 ways.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
That's crazy.
And you can go borrow against your notes to the bank, small community banks that I deal with, that I got, value with in the small towns.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. So it seems like you really mastered the owner finance game at this point, huh?
Absolutely, because flips is cool. You know what I'm saying? Flips cool, but everybody around me said the key to wealth was cash flow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm building up enough cash flow that I can buy houses from my cash flow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Beaumont though, and Port Arthur. And I'm buying one right now from Network Realty. Right now I'm doing a deal. 25,000 I'm buying the house from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm turning around selling it for 70,000 to a Hispanic person.
There you go.
He bringing me 7,000 down, 10% interest.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for me.
I love that, man. I love that. Bro, why don't we talk about the deal that we did?
Absolutely.
That was one of the greatest stories that we have, and I think this is how actually we actually met each other, huh?
Absolutely.
We met each other on a deal. I should have probably elaborated a lot more of that in the beginning. So we did a deal.
Mhm.
This is how it happened. You and Simon Wynn were working on a commercial deal.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 15-unit condo complex in the Heights.
Mm-hmm.
There was a total of how many? About 30?
30 some.
30
Yeah.
some units,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
so the goal was to get as many of these condos under contract so that we can present them all to a buyer so that they can convert it into an apartment community
Yes.
instead of a condo community,
Yes.
right? So in order to do that, you need to have majority ownership, be in charge of the HOA association, so you can vote to eliminate the HOA and basically create an apartment complex, right?
Yes.
So you and Simon went and got about, what, 15?
Yeah, Simon passed me the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just handed me the phone number.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me 6 months to get that deal under contract, Josue.
6 months.
6 months to an older white man.
Wow.
But you got a guy that was trained, that was following up every other day, 2 days, processing him in the morning. Robert, call me back tomorrow. I'm calling him. He said call him back at 8. I'm calling him at 7:54 a.m.
Yeah, I'll send it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I did this for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you came into the picture after I got it under contract, because I said, Simon, I'm not fit to get it under contract and sell it.
Yeah.
You gotta bring, you know what I'm saying? We gotta make this make sense now.
Yeah.
You know, then just we brought you in,
Mhm.
and I met you through him,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
that's when that.
So you got the deal under contract. You got 15 condos under contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got 2 more under contract. Remember that?
Yes.
So you brought the deal, you brought the acquisitions, and then I went and I had a network of buyers that I was working with at the
Yes.
time.
Yes.
So really cool. 2 Jewish buyers from Israel.
Yes.
We had a good relationship, and I presented the deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
Boris went and actually looked at the deal too. He
Yes.
looked at it. But we ended up doing this deal with these two Israelis dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool guys, man. What they were able to provide was not only the proof of funds. They had, like, man, I think they showed me their bank accounts. They had like a couple million in the bank.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, these guys are legit, right?
Absolutely.
But not only that, I explained to them, like, hey, listen, I'm gonna go and try to get more condos under contract.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So I went and got 2 more condos under contract. We ended up making around
200 some thousand.
80, something like that.
Yes.
I
Yes.
forgot the exact amount, but
Yes.
it was close to 300K.
Absolutely.
It was like a 700 contract price. We sold it for like 900 and change.
Yeah. Yeah. Then the other 2 was able to add more on, because we had it on the contract for 750,000. And a quick story, you didn't know before you came in the picture,
Mm-hmm.
we went through a lawsuit with that guy.
Yeah. What happened?
Where I got it under contract under my acquisition company.
Uh-huh.
He tried to sell it for 850,000.
Really?
Yes, we went through about a year legal battle.
You had to do a list pendants, I think, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got a great lawyer at the Heights.
Yeah.
Shout out to my lawyer, you know what I'm saying, at the Heights.
Yeah.
And he helped us win. His older white man thought he was just gonna bully, you know, and he found out the hard way. And that's when all that manifested. And I was grateful for that because I learned the legal world of that process.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had to sue him because he tried to get out of the contract that you guys were in.
Yes, he tried to sell it for $850,000 to a guy.
And what happened after the end? You guys won the lawsuit.
We came to his office, and me and Simon, our lawyer, came to his office, and the judge granted us that we can go through with the deal, that he can't sell it to the other guy. So that showed me, that really taught me. That's why I'm so ferocious with knowing how to position myself now. And that showed me that once you have your ducks in a row, I don't care who you are, you could have 2 million followers, man. Once my paperwork in place, bro, I'm standing on business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I stood on business because he didn't know that I went through what I went through in the past. Because he said, I'm going to take you for everything you got. I said, sir, you must don't know what I went through, sir. Like, I'm happy to even go through this situation because I embrace this. I'm not going to jail for this, man. This is learning lessons one-on-one. Come on now.
Yeah, yeah. No need to revert back to any sort of, any violence or anything of that sort.
Yeah.
You can make a lot more damage with a stroke of a pen.
Absolutely.
Than you can with any sort of altercation, So
yes,
I think you proved that, man. Dude, that was a great deal. We ended up making a good amount of money each one of us.
Yes. Thanks to you, man. You did that.
It was a team effort.
Absolutely.
It was a team effort. We all brought a bunch of value, and I think that's what's really beautiful about JV deals. It's
absolutely
brings people together. You make money together, and look, we're here now, man. We were really good friends after that.
Absolutely.
Went and had dinner with the buyers. Remember that?
Absolutely.
That was a good time.
Hey, that was a cool vibe right there. I remember that, man. That's great energy.
Absolutely. So, man, I love that, dude. What would you say is the secret to your success, Robert?
Man, the secret to my success right now, man, I continue to read, man. I'm a reader. Yeah. Prison taught me to feed my mind. Mm-hmm. If you ain't feeding your mind, you can get stagnant because you gotta get hope from somewhere.
Yeah.
Inspiration have to be extracted.
Right.
You can have $1 million at the bank, but still dredging to get out the bed and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you got to think about it, Josue. I've been shot 8 times in a home invasion. Damn. When I was a drug dealer.
Damn.
8 times. I got a 45 bullet in my wrist. I got a rod in my leg.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I've been shot. This is facts.
When you were like 20 something?
No, this is when I got out of prison.
You got out of prison?
I got back in the drug game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for a little bit. I got shot 8 times.
Wow.
I got holes in my body, man. So, I got a fearless mindset. Right. So that's why I'm not impressed with the materialistic things of life no more, because coming from the drug game, you having hundreds of thousands in your 18s, 19s, 20s, up to 22. Mm. I don't need to prove nothing that I can go get the rollies and the cars because I had that young. I was able to accumulate that. Now it's bigger and deeper than just trying to impress.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to press upon, I'm trying to press upon that it's possible that you can, come from the zero. Yeah. So my mindset is my secret to success, because I have to continue to not, read the Bible and pray, but I got a great prayer team that I can talk to every day. That's my therapeutic outlet. You got to have somebody that you can confide in outside of your core people, so that you don't got to feel vulnerable to what you shared.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned earlier, you called yourself a Master Salesman. You're starting some sort of mentorships here, something for teaching people how to do sales?
Yes, that's my passion, man. Sales. Mm-hmm. Sales is my passion because I see that a lot of people get stuck into the hats of the world of a name, instead of knowing how to sell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I see that that's something that a lot of people lack. You know what I'm saying? Because you can sell from every area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's something that I want to pour into the generation, whether you older, younger, you know what I'm saying? Because shout out to Ray Sasser. They send me a lot of leads.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I bought deals from his real estate group. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I just had to I just did a deal with somebody from his group. Let me just share it. The guy had the deal at 75,000. I had to go renegotiate that deal with the seller in Beaumont. Just closed. I had to go renegotiate that deal to 53,000.
Damn.
53,000, bro.
20K.
Yes. And we got the deal done.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the process of just knowing sales. You got to know how to sell and negotiate to be able to position yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my core factors of being a salesman.
When you planning on coming out with this mentorship, bro, for sales?
Man, I'm working on that right now as I speak, because like I say, my vision was just not to impress I'm not, now that I got a daughter, my daughter changed my whole trajectory of how I think now.
Right.
I never had this feeling the way I have to think, because if something happened to me today, I have to always, I wanted to have 12 ways of her to stay afloat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Life insurance policy, not just real estate, but resources. I'm building 100 million in resources.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That she can go tap into Beaumont. She can go tap into Port Arthur and talk to my Pakistan people, my Jewish people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and this essence of me being a salesman is continuous to foster relationships.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Continuing to sow into the people, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I want to build this salesmanship, because I'm always be a part of deal flow. So it gets to level me up to get to my monthly goal that I'm aiming for. I got a monthly goal that I wrote down in prison, and it stuck to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's great, man. I love that. Well, I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to hear about that, hear about your course and your mentorship that you have to offer. You have a lot of great life experience, and I think you have a lot to offer to anyone out there that's wanting to learn how to be a master salesman like yourself,
Absolutely.
The only thing that, like you said, is people need to set aside their ego. They need to learn how to be a student, and they can, they can reach great heights in business and in life too. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And one thing, I'm gonna just share this. Like, I see this world is fixated upon what the media and social media project. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, Muslim, Buddha. I was able to mastermind with all those people in prison.
Right.
It's no race. I hung around with the Indians. I hung around with the atheists. I became Muslim for a year, came back to Christianity. I was seeking to understand this philosophy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people just be based on what the social media and the world say. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, that's why I'm so strong on my mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm not easily influenced no more. I move how I move, because a lot of people ain't met a guy that's never getting out of prison, 8 life sentences. A lot of people ain't get shot and bounce back from the doctor telling you that you ain't gonna walk again.
Yeah.
But I stayed in prayer.
Yeah.
A lot of people ain't getting out of prison, starting from zero, never having a job. Ain't nobody said, he go 20,000, he go 10,000. I started from zero, bro.
Yeah.
No fluff.
Right.
So my mindset have to be strong. I can't be impressed by your Rolls Royce or your Bentleys and stuff like that, because I know guys from the hood. Shout out to my brother who incarcerated. He got a Maybach put up in the storage right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's easily attainable when you're a street dude and know how to be strategic and dominant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So those things are no more impressed upon me. I'm about wealth of influence now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That I can, ex-felon can go to a bank and get a line of credit now.
That's incredible.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What a turnaround.
Yeah, well, the banks know I've been half of the people that I do business with follow me on Facebook.
Yeah.
And know my story. So being from prison don't scare me, can't scare me. Only you can scare yourself from opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Well, your story is incredible, Robert. I think you're a wealth of knowledge, and I think people that listen to this podcast are going to have a great time listening to your journey, and more importantly, listening to what's possible, right?
Absolutely.
You're the walk-in version of someone that turned their life around, and I think that's commendable, and I applaud you for that, bro, because a lot of people don't do it, and it proves that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your skin race. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Right.
How much money you had growing up. you overcame all of these challenges, and you were able to make something of yourself, and someone that's very well respected here in Houston and in the real estate community. So, dude, I think you have an incredible story. You say you're writing a book too?
Yeah, man. I'm writing a book, man, that inspired me through the journey.
Yeah.
Because I always use the word process.
Right.
You're still processing. Today, a realtor or investor can make $1 million, right?
What
But
does it mean, process? What does that mean to you?
process meaning, you give you a story.
Mm.
The guy in prison with the 8 life sentences gave me a story.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you got to continue the process. You can get the bread, put the mayonnaise on there, put the mustard.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you can get the meat. Then you can get your cheese or whatever you want to put on the bread on it, and you can get the top bread. He said it was a process to make that sandwich.
Right.
He said life is like that. You got to continue the process, because you don't process, you ain't gonna eat.
Right.
So every day is a process, because Josue, you can make $1 million today, but as soon as you spend $20, you ain't a millionaire no more out that million.
Yeah.
Right?
You got to continue to eat.
You got to continue the process, man. Nothing stops. Why you think the older guys continue to process? All the older politicians you see, they 70s and 80s in office. They could be sitting on the beach, but they want to continue the process to position their cultures and position their legacies.
Right.
So we gotta continue the process. A certain amount of money don't make you successful.
Right.
It's about how many people you impacted and how many people able to thrive off the information you share into the marketplace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm always continuing the process. That's why I market myself every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a process. Because where I come from, man, these guys lay you down.
Right.
So I have to separate myself. I have to go to the Post Oak hotels. I have to go to the Sugar Land and hang with other people so that I can be a part of the old product of an environment I come from. I got to continue the process. Just because I read Think and Grow Rich don't mean that I don't have to go back and continue to read, because I want to change my mind. I want to have new conversations. So when I do talk to the political people or people of influence or going to these banks, these people see that even though they may be pulling on my background, but that's not who I am. Right. You know what I'm saying? I recently did a deal. Shout out to the plug to my boy David.
David.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, he a Houston police officer, man, and we did a deal before he retired. And man, it felt good because he knew my story.
Yeah.
So processing mean the past cannot stop you of what God has in store for you. The past is only that. But once you change your mind and people see who you are, people will be good to you, man. Because in the Bible say, your gift will open up doors before mean men. Right. You know what I'm saying? So my gift has attracted a police officer to become good friends with, to do a deal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
From being a drug dealer to now doing a deal with a cop. Like,
absolutely.
It's a crazy story, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I don't look at it as he a cop. I look at it as just, man, I'm in real estate. I don't even think of the old.
Of course. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Well, man, I had a great time doing this podcast, Robert. Thank you so much for being here. I think we covered a lot of different things, and I think people are going to be excited to hear your story and your journey. How can people learn more about you, Robert? How can they reach out to you? Let's say people want to do maybe a deal with you. How can they reach out?
Man, I'm in the process of getting my streamline and everything, because throughout the years, man, I never took the thought process to really, because I wasn't trying to, I know a lot of people want to build up their social media, but I want to build up my influence. I want to build up my wealth, not just in my health. No, so I want to build up my cash flow. So I wasn't focused on social media. I was being focused on me. But now, as I'm developing and doing these podcasts, I am putting together websites and all those things. But for right now, people can go to Facebook, Robert Kenner. People can go to Instagram, follow me on the Real Estate Wealth Builder. Mm-hmm. And I got, TikToks and stuff that I haven't even just had time to even engage in. Yeah. But Instagram and Facebook right now can be two platforms that people can get at me on.
Or they could call you right there on your shirt, 713-575-2055.
On the spot. On the spot,
You
man.
can answer, huh?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
On the spot.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, Robert. I think we had a great podcast, and yeah, man, until the next one.
Absolutely,
thank you,
man.
For everything.
And I thank you, man. I just want to share this with the audience, man. Faith without works is dead. Mm-hmm. faith without works is dead, meaning that you sitting up here talking to two individuals that had faith in something. I never would have met you if it wasn't for me writing my purpose down.
Yeah.
I never would have met Simon.
Yeah.
So everything has a reaction to what you sow.
That's right.
You know, you will reap what you sow.
Yep.
And I'm reaping what I wrote down, and I'm thankful for you, man, because you're an inspiration to not just me, but it just showed me that it's a lot of other people you can learn from, sophisticated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I just want to say, man, in your circle of influence, man. So I'm grateful to have to do this podcast to meet your team, man. So I want to say thank you as well.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.